Hello everybody, welcome back. Today's video, first disclaimer. This is not a demo. This is not a connection showing you walking through how the device works. It is simply my impression of this device and others like it that I've tried thus far. And in the last couple of weeks, I've tried quite a few. In any event, this guy here, I just got recently, and it is the Donner Pocket X multi-effects device, right? Now, this same looking device goes under a host of different names from different companies. So, for example, this is Donner's version, the Pocket X. Leo James has a very, very similar looking device as this, and it's called the Silver Box. MVAVE, that's M-VAVE. They have a similar box called the Black Box, right? Silver box, black box. This is a white box. And there's probably others, quite frankly, right, out there that have a similar device as this. That's in a multi-effects box. They all have the same features. They all have the same effects. They all operate the same. They just have different names at the top. This one happens to be Donner's version, the Pocket X. Now, in the comments or description of the video description area, I will put a link to a video from a channel named Company Grip Guitar. And the gentleman at Company Grip Guitar does the best demo that I've seen of this device. It's not this same Donner device. This one happens to be branded by MVAVE. But again, MVAVE, Leo James, Donner, they're all the same device. They just have different names on top. And his demo is quite thorough in a very understandable way. He walks through all the functions of the device. And again, like I said, I went through a ton of videos on YouTube, and there are a ton demoing this thing. His, by far, in my opinion, is the best. So rather than me butcher it and go through this, and it would take forever to walk through all the features and functions, and I don't even have the abilities to put this thing up on a screen while I have it plugged in to show you the settings, I said, let me use the Company Grip Guitars demo because it's far better than anything I'll ever do. And we'll give this gentleman a little bit of credit along the way. So, what is the device? Again, I just turned it on. This is what the screen looks like. You can change the screen settings by toggling this, and this thing, by pressing it in, will go to different settings for fuzz, delay, distortion, modulation, etc., right? And then similarly, yeah, it's moving. You can't see it on this poor screen, this depiction. These buttons here change also. You can see it goes up to 80 and goes through 1, 2, 3. There are 80 presets on this. So from 1 to 80, you can get presettings that have already been set up in this box for your guitar, right? And then you can save your own to these areas here where you can make your own presets. If you press these two foot pedals concurrently, you will get a tuner on this device. Okay, there it is, your guitar tuner. And then there are a bunch of other settings that you can get as well. What I suggest, in addition to the video, the tutorial, is to go through the enclosed booklet that comes with this thing. And it's a user's manual that walks through how to set up all the different features and functions and how to use the different capabilities of this thing. Now, shut it off for a second. This effectively has on the front, as you can see, a master volume over here, knob. The one on the far, I don't know if it's right or left on the video, is a parameter dial. The soft buttons below. One is the home screen, one is for effects, one is for the amp effects, or amp descriptions and amp types, I should say. One is for modulation, one is for delay, one is for reverb, and one is for the cabinet settings. Now, on this Donner device, you get 3 effects under that effects soft button. You'll get a noise gate, a boost, and a compression function under those. Those are the 3. Under modulation, you will get 7 settings. You will have a chorus, you will have a phaser, or phase shifter, depending upon what generation you're from, a tremolo setting, a flanger, a vibrato, a univibe, and an auto filter. That's what you get under the 7 modulation effects. Under the IR, or the cabs, as you can see to the far end, the cab, you will get 20 different IR cab configurations. 1x4, 2x4, you know how cabinets work. And then you can use those in conjunction with the amp heads. The reverb setting, and under the, I forgot to mention, under the amps, you also get 20 settings. We'll go over that in a second. But to align with the 20 cabinets. The reverb features, you have 6. You will get a room reverb, a hall reverb, a swell reverb, a spring reverb, classic Fender spring reverb, a shimmer type of reverb, as well as what they call a cloud reverb. Those are the 6. In the delay soft button, if you connect to that or push that down, you will toggle through 5 settings for delay. Analog delay, what they call duck delay, D-tape, dual delay, and lo-fi. Now, finally, under the amp head options, you will get amps. I'm not going to go through every one of them, but you will get amps such as the Tweed amp, Fender Tweed, a Bogner type amp, a Juice Jim amp, right? And you can figure out with these names what they're trying to emulate. Sir SL68, Vox, Fender Twin, Britplex, Mesa Boogie, and on and on and on. And then you can match these heads with whatever cabinet configuration you want, which is kind of cool, right? Again, 80 preset already in this box, 80 preset settings. That some are echoes, some are distorted, and a lot of them are distorted. Some are clean. Now, full disclosure, what I find with this box, and many of the ones that are similar to this, is that out of all of these 80 preset settings, you probably have maybe 8 of them that you'll like, that you'll define as being useful. The rest of them are kind of out there, and a lot of them, quite frankly, sound cheesy to me. So there'll only be a handful of usable settings on this thing. That's one of the weaknesses, in my opinion. This little box is roughly a little over 4 inches by 4 inches. That's the size of this thing. It's very small. You can see here it's maybe an inch high, but it's made extremely solid. It's a durable little box. Metal casing, very durable. So that's a good thing. What else do we have to talk about? Software. So Donner, and I'm sure these other brands that I mentioned that are very similar to this, have an app that you can download to your phone, connect it to Bluetooth, and control this thing from your phone. Let's see if we could see it. That's what the app looks like. You can't see it in the glare. But, okay, there's no device currently connected, so we'll go to the Pocket device. It's connecting. And you should see it soon once it appears to make a Bluetooth connection, hopefully. Let's see what it's saying here. Connection failed. Okay, wonderful. So maybe I have to have it closer to the device. Let's see. It's scanning it right now. Would also help if I probably turn on this thing. There's the lack of current technology skills that I have. Okay, so it just connected. That's what the screen looks like. And then if we go to that, you can see it's got a whole host of different settings for the modulation, the effects, the amps, the reverb, the cabs, etc. And again, the demo that I have attached here will walk you through how to use the app as well. Okay? So, bottom line, are these devices, and the cost I didn't go over as well. So this thing currently is, the lowest I've seen it on eBay is about $60. It's $58, $59 with a coupon on eBay. The other versions of this, Leo James, go for like $75 on Amazon. The M-Wave I've seen around $75, $78. They vary. They're kind of all over the place. But out of the Donner, the Leo James, the M-Wave, Donner seems to have the best current price new that I found for this thing on eBay, if you look around. What else? Oh, the effects. The other nice feature of this thing is some of these devices you have to go with the preset string. You can't change the chain, the effect chain. With this, you can rearrange the effect chain. You can set it up any way you want. You can put a phaser in front of a flanger, in front of distortion, straight to the guitar, or vice versa. You can mix and match. So you can basically, design the effects, mix and match, and move around the effects in the chain, which is a nice feature. This thing is charged with this USB. So it's a USB-C, I think, into the device, and to your computer, it's the traditional USB. I think it's a USB-B. Is that right or something? I don't even know the names, but that's it. So it goes from a C into the device into your computer. So if you don't have that, you'll have to convert it somehow to support that connection. On off right here. There's the on off button. It's right here. All right. Turn it on, turn it off, and then your input naturally and your output. So you can plug your guitar in and plug it into an amp, and then you have this going through your amplifier. Or if you don't want to do that, you can just use this as a standalone device. It supports headphone connection. You plug your little headphone jack into there, and you're good to go. You can use this as a little portable amp if that's what you desire to do. The display is kind of small. It's bright enough in my opinion, but for my old eyes, it's a little small, especially when you start lumping in all the effects, and then it, if you want to try to read what each effect is, your amps, your modulation, your delay, your cabs, the icons are a little small on this thing. But again, it's a small device. That's one of the perils of having a small device. It comes with the territory. But yeah, are these the best things since sliced bread? In all honesty, no. And quite frankly, the devices that there are, like I've tried the Cube Baby, which again, M-Wave has, a whole bunch of other manufacturers also manufacture that little Cube Baby thing. I don't like it because it's too small and too convoluted to operate, in my opinion. The More PE100, which I gave you a heads up on, that Amazon was blowing out for around $30, $32. My complaint with that thing is that the battery charge on that, it runs 6 AA batteries, and it was burning through them after one use. So I was going through AA's like nobody's business. It just wasn't. And then, it doesn't pay to connect this thing. It's not portable if you have to, plug it in through the adapter. What's nice about this is you can charge this. It says it takes 5 hours. I did this in about 3. It's charged when there's a light that will show up right here, right by the USB. And it's red, meaning that it's uncharged. It's charging. When it turns blue, that means you have a charge. And I did that right around 2.5, 3 hours. It turned to blue. And supposedly the charge on this thing will last 10 hours. If that's the case, that's not bad at all. It's better than something that eats AA batteries. So that's a positive to this device versus those others. Yeah, so the other thing is the sound effects, and for the effects, the delays, the modulation, the reverbs, they're okay. They're passable. If you want truly good effects, in my opinion, buy pedals, right? Buy pedals. You're going to get much purer results and a much more defined sound out of a standalone pedal than you have out of these. These are designed for convenience and for somebody that, like myself, is a novice, maybe somebody that doesn't want to be bothered running chains of pedals on boards and all that other stuff, and just wants simplicity, wants something that they can plug and play, right? This will accomplish that. But if you're looking for really, really decent effects, you're not going to get it. They're kind of cheesy, in my opinion. They're, out of all of those 80 predefined effects, like I said, maybe I found 8 that are useful. And then you can make your own naturally. But then it takes a little bit more time, right? By just putting on, echo, a little echo, or a little reverb, or a little distortion, whatever the case is. So, that's it, man. That's what I have to say. This, out of these devices, I think Donner makes one that is probably the best value at this point compared to the others that are making them as well. You can also always, try to give them an offer and see if they take it. I don't know. That's always a possibility on eBay. It is a well-made device. It's somewhat easy to use. It's a little tricky, I have to admit. That's why they have this user manual attached. But between the user manual and the tutorial video, you should get the gist. But if you have an amplifier that has no effects on it and you want to make it into some sort of a digital amp on the cheap, this is a good way to do it. If you just want to use this as a standalone device and don't have an amp and just want to plug your headphones in here, right, and have a portable little device that you can play and get effects, this will work. So yeah, is it worth the money? Yeah, I would say so. And it's well made. If you guys have questions on this, put them in the comments. If you like these videos, please subscribe. And until the next time, be well, see you soon. Rock on.